Okay. In England, by Michael Joseph, 2 books were published that had been written by George Ryga, Hungry Hills, and the other one, The Ballad of a Stone Picker. And it was eventually funds from that George and Norma moved to Summerland. This story is about a 28-year-old who is the sole remaining member of a family, once of 4. His parents have passed on. His youngest brother got a scholarship, a Rhodes Scholarship to go to Oxford, and then was killed in an automobile accident. So here he is alone on the homestead, and of course they homesteaded on some of the rougher land, and you had to pick stones and put them on a stone boat. I even did a little bit of that back when I was in my 20s. Anyway, so the premise of this is that an Eastern Canadian magazine has sent a writer to go to north of Athabasca and write about the Rhodes Scholar who died. His background, the background of the community, people in it, and so on. So this person has arrived by train, and the stone picker has gone down with the horse and buggy and picked him up and driven back to the homestead. He says, "The water's boiling. Would you like me to make some coffee?" "Oh, we can eat together in a little while, but coffee would be first, okay? Be all right now?" "Oh, I make good coffee. Best coffee you'll ever drink. My old man made it that way. 2 spoons, no, pardon me, just a minute. Best coffee you'll ever drink. Old man made that. That's how I learned. He made it with a fistful of coffee in the pot, then scalded it with boiling water and let it steep for 10 minutes. Best coffee you'll ever drink." Hey, before you leave, we be sure and visit Sergei Pushkin. Every year there was a big party in his house. Oh, it happened just before harvest, time, when the hay was in and the barley was a bleached mat in the fields ready for cutting. Sergei would appear at his gate and shout, "Come to my place tomorrow. We have a little bit to eat and something to drink." He's a white Russian emigre who came to Canada about the time of the Revolution. He likes his food and he likes his drink. Oh, on Saturday nights you can still hear him coming down the road from town, beard up to the eyes, hollering at his team, and the wagon creaking and rattling as he drives along. "America, all right. Giddy up, straighten ahead, sons of bitches together." Oh, if you were to meet him in town or a church, and he was thinking about life, he would say, "Boy, if we was rich, we go to British Columbia and grow apples. But we are poor, so we stay in the muskeg and grow weeds and taxes." Oh, but that's all right, boy. We never have a crop failure that way. What do you say? The day of the yearly party at Sergei's place was in honor of some Russian saint whose name I never learned, but it was a special day in Sergei's life. And he once sold a cow to pay for the food and whiskey to make a good party for everyone. Oh, it would be sundown by the time we reached his home, and he would stand outside the door with his wife by his side. He'd shake everybody's hand and say, "Welcome to my place, my good friend. Have a good time, please." Inside, the main room would already be half full of his children and grandchildren. who'd also rise and welcome you in. Oh, it was 10 times more polite than any church party I've gone to. And these people meant every bit of it, too. Always there were candles on the table, surrounded by enough grub to feed an army. Roast beef and pork, sweetbreads, pickles, head cheese, dumplings, and halakchi. As we made our way to our seats, the children and grandchildren would wait until we'd all settled down before moving up and taking their places. But before they sat down, they would wait for Sergei and his wife to seat themselves first. Like I say, there were candles on the table, and they lit up the proud smile that Sergei had on his face. Then he'd reach for the whiskey bottle in front of him, rise and go around the table, filling all the glasses to the brim. Ending up back at his chair, he'd fill his own glass last and raise it. For this year, and last year, and next year after that, and maybe lots more years if we're lucky. Good luck, and everything be all right for everybody. He proposed a toast. Oh, we'd all drink, every man and woman and child over 10. And then we would begin to eat cold food first to put out the whiskey fire in our throats. And everybody was talking now, some laughing, some teasing, and all agreeing about the heat of the whiskey and the good taste of the food. Sergei didn't talk much, for he talked a lot. Didn't eat much, pardon me, for he talked a lot. To us and to his children and grandchildren, and in between his talking he drank from the bottle in front of him, and sometimes broke from his halting English into phrases of Russian. And he drank, and asked all of us to drink with him. Then he laughed, and after he laughed he wept a little. And put his arms around the people nearest to him. We work like dogs, sometimes go hungry, but I tell you, America, all right. Drink, my friends, and be happy. We drank and ate all we could hold. We talked to each other and listened to Sergei talk. And always I had a kind of sad feeling that this was a time of departure, a sort of last supper, after which we would all scatter to the four winds, and life would change, and there would never again be another supper at the home of Sergei Pushkin.